Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to another English lesson here on the channel, where I have the opportunity to help you with your English comprehension, vocabulary, and your fluency. Today, I have a advanced level, C-1 level actually, read and repeat English lesson. And so we're going to read and repeat the story, the sentences, and I will explain to you many of the vocabulary words in today's lesson. Now, if you want some intermediate and beginner level lessons, be sure to check out the links down in the description. With that being said, let's get ready for a little bit of learning and laughter, and let's dive into today's story. Allison woke up in the middle of the night. Startled. Let's try that again. Startled to find a small rat scurrying across her kitchen floor. Let's read and repeat. Allison woke up in the middle of the night, startled to find a small rat scurrying across her kitchen floor. Okay, so when someone is startled, they are frightened. Usually a person that is startled, they are caught off guard. Someone is scaring them, and so they jump. They show that they are afraid. There is some fear. So if someone stands behind the door and you don't see them, and when you walk by, they say, boo, they startle you. Now, this story brings back memories when I was a child. So my grandmother, who lived in Virginia, she's passed now, but she used to have mice in her house. Thankfully, there were no rats, but there were mice. And I remember getting up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom as a child and a teenager, and you would see those mice run across the floor, and they would never attack you, but having mice run by you when you least expect it is somewhat frightening. So let's see what happens with Allison in this story. Determined to get rid of the unwanted visitor, she embarked on a wild chase through every nook and cranny of her house. Okay, I will read and you will repeat. Determined to get rid of the unwanted visitor, she embarked on a wild chase through every nook and cranny. Of her house. Now, let me go back. I forgot to say that when we talk about scurrying, there was a word in the first sentence. It means something to move very quickly by you, to scurry or scurry along. Okay. Now, to embark. Notice to embark. She embarked on a wild chase. So she went on. She began, she embarked, okay? She was going down a path that she never had gone before. She embarked. So you might say, I On my way home, I embarked upon a stray dog. Okay, so I came up on, it came across my path. I embarked. Now, nook and cranny. Notice she chased the rat through every nook and cranny of her house. So nook and cranny is a phrase that we use to describe a person saying every available inch. Okay. I lost my keys, you might say. For the past hour, I have looked through every nook and cranny of my car. Okay. I've looked through every nook and cranny. I've gone through the coats, my clothes, my bags. I looked upon every available inch of something. Nook and cranny. Let's continue. However, instead of catching the rat, Allison's heart softened, and she decided to befriend the little creature. No, Allison, wrong move. Let's repeat as I read. However, instead of catching the rat, Allison's heart softened, and she decided to befriend the little creature. Okay, so when someone's heart softens, it describes a person who has become sympathetic to an issue, to a thing, or a person. Okay, so for instance, Jimmy was used to seeing homeless people on the street, and he always walked past them without thought. But today, his heart softened towards them, and he bought a homeless man something to eat. Okay, so you become empathetic or sympathetic towards someone. Someone who has a soft heart is described as being humble. Someone whose heart has hardened is described as a person that has a proud heart. Okay. So when you befriend, notice she befriended the little creature, the rat. Instead of trying to harm the rat, she decided to console or comfort the rat. Why would you do that to a rat? Okay. I can't do it. Okay. Could you befriend a rat and make it your pet? So instead of her trying to end the rat's life, she said, you know what? Maybe I can make this rat my friend. Let's call the rat Reginald. Oh my goodness. With patience and gentleness. Allison, come on now. Allison managed to earn the trust of the rat, whom she affectionately named Oscar. Allison, let's go back over this sentence. As I read, you repeat. With patience and gentleness, Allison managed to earn the trust of the rat, whom she affectionately named Oscar. Okay. Now notice it says with patience and gentleness. So instead of her being harsh, mean, or rude towards the rat named Oscar, she was patient and gentle. So She was more understanding, comforting, humane, okay? Taking her time. She was watching Oscar the rat, seeing what his needs were, okay? She managed to earn the trust of the rat. Excuse me. She managed to earn the trust of the rat. So, I don't know. How do you earn the trust of a rat? I guess you would feed it without trying to trap it. So she managed to earn the trust of the rat. And I can understand that because there are cats that trust me in the neighborhood and some that don't trust me. Some let me pet them and feed them, and some will let me feed them, but they won't get close to me. So she earned the trust of the rat, and affectionately, notice affectionately, and I'm sorry about that. I'm having some problems with my computer, but she affectionately, meaning she kindly, okay, she showed some kindness by naming the rat Oscar. She set up a cozy nest for him in a corner of her kitchen, complete with soft bedding and a small dish of food. Lord, Allison, let's read and repeat. She set up a cozy nest for him in a corner of her kitchen, complete with soft bedding and a small dish of food. Okay. Let's see here. I think that's self-explanatory. Cozy, something that's comfortable. Okay. Something that you can relax in. It's cozy. Oscar quickly became a regular part of Allison's life, bringing her both joy and companionship. Oscar quickly became, as you repeat, a regular part of Allison's life, bringing her both joy and companionship. So joy, making her happy, companionship, becoming a friend, getting close to, companionship. Okay, let's continue. As their bond grew stronger each day, or they got closer, Allison couldn't help but marvel at the saying, opposites attract. So that's a saying to where we use to describe two different types of people who actually become close despite their differences. Opposites attract. And that usually comes from like a magnet, the negative and positive, those attract. But usually we use that when we're describing two people that are totally different. And we'll say, wow, I'm amazed at how close we are. Opposites attract. Okay, let's read and repeat. As their bond grew stronger each day, Allison couldn't help but marvel at the saying, opposites attract. Good. Now, marvel. She couldn't help but marvel. So when you marvel at something, you are in a state of amazement, okay? A state of wonder. So where you're saying, wow, I can't believe it, okay? This is a good thing. Last sentence. She found solace or peace or comfort in Oscar's company, sharing her thoughts and dreams with him, even though he couldn't respond in the same way. Come on, Allison, this is a rat. Okay, let's read and repeat. She found solace in Oscar's company, sharing her thoughts and dreams with him, even though he couldn't respond in the same way. I get it. Some people, when it comes to pets, they get real personal, you know. But sharing your thoughts and dreams, that's funny to me. Okay, let's read through today's story at a faster pace without stopping now that I have explained the vocabulary words and phrases with a little bit of humor. Okay, let's dive in. Allison woke up in the middle of the night, startled to find a small rat scurrying across her kitchen floor. Determined to get rid of the unwanted visitor, she embarked on a wild chase through every nook and cranny of her house. However, instead of catching the rat, Allison's heart softened and she decided to befriend the little creature. With patience and gentleness, Allison managed to earn the trust of the rat, whom she affectionately named Oscar. She set up a cozy nest for him in a corner of her kitchen, complete with soft bedding and a small dish of food. Oscar quickly became a regular part of Allison's life, bringing her both joy and companionship. As their bond grew stronger each day, Allison couldn't help but marvel at the saying, opposites attract. She found solace in Oscar's company, sharing her thoughts and dreams with him, even though he couldn't respond in the same way. Okay, excellent job. Now, let's look at a few quiz questions from today's story. Okay. What does cozy mean? So that was a vocabulary word in today's story. Do you remember, what does cozy mean? Number 2, in what ways do you think Oscar brought joy and companionship into Allison's life? Now that's going to be difficult to answer because the story didn't actually say it. So you would have to use your imagination. Okay. Number 3, what does marvel mean? What does marvel mean? Okay, so that's going to do it for today's odd and weird story. But I've taught you a few new vocabulary words and phrases: nook and cranny, marvel, cozy. There were so many others in today's lesson. Now, if you would like my slides in a PDF form, make sure you use the link in the description of today's lesson. And again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have learned something. And if you have, be sure to share today's lesson with someone that is trying to improve their English. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and watch out for the rats that may be close to you. I'll see you on my next lesson. Have a great day.